Holiday travel. It's gonna happen. And gas prices too. What you need to know before you hit the road with a little over a week left until Thanksgiving. You're gonna want to start planning for that stuffed Thanksgiving travel period. Let's dig into it. Well, whether you're the one hitting the road or the jet stream, or maybe it's your family members that are doing that, there will be plenty of others in the same boat or plane or train. AAA expects 55.4 million Americans to travel 50 miles or more on Turkey Day, up 2.3% from last year. It's the third highest number since 2000. 49.1 million people are expected to travel by car, and they'll pay about 50 cents less for a gallon of gasoline than they did last year. 4.7 million people are going to be flying, an increase of more than 6% since last year.
What AAA is seeing is that people are continuing to travel post-pandemic, and each year the numbers are getting bigger and bigger. We haven't seen any pullback since 2020.
There is a trick to finding the best time to travel to avoid the highest traffic times on the road and when you're going to the airport. CBS's Megan Cirillo explains.
When it comes to Thanksgiving, the best day to travel to avoid both crowds and to get good deals is the Monday before the holiday, if you can get away that early. The best day to go home is actually that Friday. Sunday is the absolute worst day to travel home from Thanksgiving. If you can push it until Monday morning, 6 a.m., depending on how early you have to be at your desk, that's another good day to travel. You can save 30% or thereabouts on ticket prices.
Now, if you can't travel on those days that she mentioned, you should aim to leave early in the morning on whatever day you can travel, they say, in order to beat most of the traffic. Well, that brings us to the best times to hit the road. So if you're heading out on Wednesday, the best time is before 11 a.m. On Thanksgiving Day, if you're traveling on the day, the best time to hit the road is before 10 a.m. and then again after 5 p.m. On Black Friday, when everyone is out and about shopping, the best time to be on the road is before 11 a.m. and after that 7 p.m. time. And for both Saturday and Sunday, AAA advises you to leave before noon. Now, while you're planning your commute, make sure to put major traffic jams on your radar. If you're heading south towards Atlanta, it's expected to be major traffic delays Wednesday afternoon on I-85 South from exit 91 to exit 247. If you're heading north towards D.C., traffic hotspots are expected on parts of I-95 North, I-270 North, and I-95 North on both Wednesday and Thursday. Well, GasBuddy released their annual Thanksgiving travel survey, which revealed that more people are planning to drive than flying. This may not sound like good news, but what the report says about gas prices really is good news. The national average price of gas is $3.25 per gallon. This is a 31-cent drop compared to last year's average, which was $3.56. GasBuddy says this drop is going to allow Americans to save more than $570 million in holiday travel expenses. Right now, AAA says the national average for regular gas is $3.35, the state average is $3.06, and the average here in Greensboro is $3.04, but I got it yesterday for $2.85. All right, so we had an auto expert on last week who shared some things that you should check on with your car before you take your road trip, and you've got some time to do this. So you do want to make sure that your fluids are leveled off. You want to get that oil changed and the tires rotated before you take your trip. Don't put it off. Check your tires, of course, make sure they're not worn down or going flat, and you want to make sure everything is packed securely in your car. He was like, you know, sometimes we think about those holiday dishes, we don't put them in a seatbelt or we don't put them in a place where they're safe. If you don't, they could become flying objects in the case of an accident. And check your car's recommended weight. They say putting too many people or too many things in your overcrowded car is not safe, and it keeps you from stopping in the right amount of time. Also check for any blown lights and get them changed as needed. Now, what if you fly instead of drive? Most people have their tickets by now, but if you don't, here's some tricks that you could do to get a cheap last-minute flight. You can look into one-way flights. I do this often. Many people book 2 one-way flights with either the same or different airlines to get a cheaper deal. You could also call some travel companies. They will sometimes sell off last-minute trips at huge discounts because customers have canceled. You know, generally, there is a trick to booking flights. A travel expert from Expedia explains.
Make sure you're booking 30 days ahead of time. Flight searches are up across the board, but prices are down around 10%. 30 days ahead for domestic flights, 60 days ahead for international flights. And whatever you do, try not to book within that 7-day window.
Okay, we're in that 7-day window, right? Prices are expected to skyrocket during that period. So how many days from the upcoming holidays? 10 days from Thanksgiving. Yeah, so we're kind of in that period she just mentioned. 41 days from Christmas, 48 days from New Year's. With that, you are able to take advantage of that 30-day rule when booking your trips. Of course, flying with kids can be somewhat different than just you and the other adult. What can you bring? What do you have to leave at home? Well, when it comes to formula, breast milk, and other foods like that for kids, you can bring them in your carry-on, and they do not have to fit within a quart-sized bag. However, they do recommend that you have breast milk and formula in clear bottles, not plastic bags or pouches. Those bags cannot be screened, and you have to put them, you might have to open them so that they can be tested. As far as strollers, car seats, and baby carriers, you can take them through security, but they must go through the X-ray machine. Now, if you or a family member will be flying and they haven't done so in a while, we want to remind you of the 3-1-1 rule. Each passenger can carry liquids, gels, and aerosols in travel-sized containers that are no more than 3.4 ounces. Each passenger is limited to that one quart-sized bag of all of those liquids. If the container is 3.4 ounces or less, you can put it in your carry-on. If it's bigger, you need to put it in your checked bag. This is going to help prevent any delays at the checkpoints and for you being disappointed when they throw out your stuff. Now, if you missed any of this, you can head to WFMYnews2.com. The information is in the 2 Wants to Know section.